Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the end of day one of the Honoring Your Creative Self Challenge. How did it go? Were you able to get out and take a picture of something beautiful that brought you joy? Did you get a chance to write a little bit about what it meant to you and how you felt? I hope you did. And if not, don't worry. You've still got 4 more days of the challenge. And even if you don't do it during the challenge itself, just know that you can do it in the future anytime you want. So, what you're looking at here is my photo that I took today. This is a picture of the apple tree right in front of our house, which is in bloom right now. And one of the reasons that I moved out of San Francisco and into a smaller town was that I wanted to be able to be more connected to nature. I am pagan, Wiccan to be specific, and I had been feeling disconnected from the earth in San Francisco, even though of all the cities I've lived in, it certainly feels closest to nature, but it just isn't the same as being out of the city. So when we moved here, not only was I lucky enough to find a house, we have a couple of fruit trees in our front yard, and this is one of them. I took a picture because I love the play of colors. The blue and green and pink all together like that feel peaceful and just like the embodiment of spring and the coming summer. The blooms remind me that life returns after a time where things feel hopeless. It wasn't that long ago when this tree was completely empty, and just looking at it, it felt like there was no life at all. And then it felt like overnight there were buds, and then there were tiny leaf buds, and then over just a couple of weeks, everything burst forward and unfurled and open to the sun. And that process, watching that process, gave me hope, especially in this time where things in our country aren't necessarily feeling so great. And my daughter is having some struggles at school. And sometimes I am full of rushing around to get done with schoolwork and to get done with house cleaning and to get everything ready for Easter or birthdays or anything. Just the day-to-dayness of everything. And looking outside my windows and seeing this reminds me that it's important to take a minute and slow down and really look at what's surrounding us and really pay attention to the message of the season, which is that after months of cold and after months of rain and after months of hibernation, life returns and warmth returns. And I see that as similar to our creative self too. Even when it feels like our creativity has gone into hibernation because of hard relationships or young kids or all-consuming jobs or an inner critic that is too loud. Even though our creative self has gone into hibernation, it hasn't disappeared. It just needs a little bit of sun and a little bit of warmth and a little bit of attention, and it will burst forth again and bloom. So I hope that this small, bite-size challenge that you'll be doing each day this week can give you a little bit of that sun and let your creative self begin to stretch and begin to bloom, or even just bud, even just the smallest movement. It's still movement. And later on, towards the end of the week, I'll tell you more about some things that I have coming up if you want to dive deeper, if you're ready. But until then, just keep things small and keep things gentle. And remember, even after a long, dark, cold winter, spring comes. Have a good night, and I'll be in your inbox tomorrow morning.